This week I'm going to be changing the cam chain tensioner, the power lever bolts, and also a light bulb on the instrument panel on my BMW R850R. If you have one of these bikes, or even any of the R series, you're going to be interested in this video. Okay, first of all I'm going to be changing the cam chain tensioner. Now, why am I going to be doing that? Well, basically when you start the bike you can sometimes hear the chain clanging around inside. What you've got is a chain going from the sprocket on the cam spindle, and then it goes around onto a cam chain rail, which this piston pushes on top. And what it is, it's sprung loaded like so, and that pushes against the cam rail, which stops the chain from clattering around. So this is an aftermarket one from Motorworks in the UK. I believe that in the US you've got BMW Boneyard, which is the same sort of thing. And you order the two parts, in fact you order three parts. So you've got the crush washer, the actual housing itself, and then the hydraulic piston, which just pushes in like so. So what you'll find is with the BMW ones, the tension on these are a lot less, whereas with these aftermarket ones, they're much tighter. So it's definitely a good upgrade. Okay, so to fit the cam chain tensioner, we got to take the old one out, and that is behind the throttle body, which is quite an easy task to take that apart. Yeah, so I'll take that one around, loosen that one off, which is already loose. Best way to do this is to shove this tube here back into the airbox. And we've got this one down here as well. Be careful with all the cables and the wires, of course. And what we've got to do, that is the cam chain tensioner there. So we've got to undo that bolt, 17mm spanner with an edge chopped out there, just purely because the grill's get in the way there. Yeah, absolutely no tension at all there, so I should be feeling some resistance now, and I'm feeling nothing at all. So yeah, so this one is a 17mm head and the new one is a 15mm. Don't need to be particularly good on the spanners to do this job. It really is quite a simple job to do, this one, and it's just a matter of 20 minutes, I would say. I'm hoping this should take me. If you have one of these bikes, if you've got a 17mm head on this nut, on this bolt, sorry, or whatever you want to call it, then you definitely need to get it done. Because the last thing you want is your cam rail breaking, because that's basically take apart the engine job and start again then. Aha, there you go. Just suddenly sprung up then. Right, let's get some pliers on that. There we go. Like so. That's the old bolt and spring. Just far too weak. Covered in oil. Can only be a good thing. One crush washer, which we've got a new one of those. And then somewhere should be a pin, but we need a magnet on that. Where's that magnet that I brought and never used? Right, now I've just struggled to get this part out because I didn't have a proper magnet for it, but you do need an extendable magnet of some description to fish this piston out of there. Very important. I was using an old drill bit here, which has got a magnet on it, which I was fishing around, but it wasn't quite strong enough for that. So buy yourself a magnet if you're going to be doing this yourself. Highly advised. Right, so that's all the parts out now. Yeah, so the tension on that BMW spring is nowhere near as good as what we're replacing it with. So there we go. Let's get the new one in. Right, so I've got the piston, so I'm just going to rub a bit of the old oil on it there. On the outside, and put a little bit on the inside. This will be self-oiling anyway. And then we'll put that down the hill like so. And then we've got our crush washer already on, the new one, here. And we just literally just fish it back in. This one first, like so. Got the crush washer and the bolt there, and I'll just go in like so. Okay, so let's get this one done up now. So I'm gonna have to put a bit of pressure on this one, I think, because there's already compression that I can feel, which is only a good thing. I need to try and, as soon as I get it started, I'm okay, but it can be a bit of a challenge just to get these started because it is under compression now, like I say, so. I've caught it. Right, there you go. I think I have anyway. Yes, I have. So when you're doing anything like this, you need to make sure that you haven't actually cross-threaded it. So do be careful with that. It's good to see this thing tensioning already. I can feel the pressure, which is good. So you'll find you have to do this when you start up and you hear like a clattering sort of noise coming from the cylinder. There is a torque setting for this, but I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to tighten it within reason. And hopefully my experience, limited experience I might add, I'm not a mechanic, but my limited experience will do me proud. And let's face it, I can't get a torque wrench in there anyway very easily, not unless I take the front telelever strut off, which I don't want to do that. There we go, last turn. Perfect. Right, now it's just a case of putting the throttle bodies back together again. These do line up. You've got a small notch in the rubber there, which will match up with the throttle body notch. There we go, that's him on. The secret a lot of the time with these things is just making sure that you mark how you take these things apart and how they go back together again. And this is a very simple job, and it could save you a lot of money rather than getting BMW to do it or some other mechanic. And most importantly, you get to know your bike as well when you do your own servicing. And I think that's important, because if you break down on the side of the road, you want to know what's, you know, even if it's the basics, you want to know what's what on your bike, don't you? So for example, if I had an oil leak, then I know that there's a possibility it could be coming from that bolt there, and I know what it is and I know what it does. Let's do that Jubilee clip up there. And you can see how simple this was. I mean, as long as you've got the tools. I mean, where I went wrong on this project was I didn't have a decent magnet. But essentially all you need is a 17mm spanner, a 15mm spanner, notch them out as required with an angle grinder or a bench grinder. What else did I need? A magnet, and that's it. You know, and then the actual bolt itself. So to do this is probably a 15-20 minute job, simple as that. And I know that my rail is safe now, my cam chain rail is going to be safe now. I'm not going to get any problems with it, so like I say, it's a well worthwhile doing. And sounded good to me. Note that all the links to the products that I'm using and the tools that I'm using, 14-piece metric spanner set, is in the link below. And also not forgetting, I also have the Amazon Basics socket set, which is actually really good. I'll show you that quickly. It's only about £53. And I'll leave links in the description for all this stuff, all right? And I'll make sure it's updated, because they, you know, if anything gets discontinued like this socket set, then yeah, it's going to be a bit of a pain for you to find. But I'll leave a link in there for this one.